Welcome, this is Pineleaf Needles, Skirmisher on Middle-earth, and it's time for the third skirmish in this little trilogy of skirmishes that happen rapidly one after the other. The first, we defended Thongolhad, and the second was the first half of our assault on Dol Guldur, and now we have the assault on the Ringwraiths Lair, which is the second half of the assault on Dol Guldur. Now there is one more Mirkwood skirmish after this, but in that case there's a little bit of a break before it.
The bailies of Dol Guldur are highly fortified, nearly impenetrable, and the finest of the enemy's soldiers defend within. Before the rest of the fortress can be assaulted, these must be taken.
Now in this particular skirmish we have only 2 major areas instead of 5. So therefore we will have several groups in this area. There are 3 groups actually in the outer bailey, which is the area we're in now. So the pattern is a little bit different here. And as you can see, we get plenty of drakes. This is nice and useful for your elves. If you get this far without finishing your drake deed. I know there are many elves who go about hunting all over the place for drakes so they can finish their deeds early. My elves tend to finish it by running skirmishes. I remember one time I ran assault on the Ringwraiths Lair hoping to finish it up. I was 1 away. So I followed it up with a run of Siege of Gladden, since you only need... Oh, come on. Since you need to only run... You only face 1 drake there. It's always exactly 1, unless of course you're in a raid. No, none down there. But it's reliable. In this one, you might get a huge number of drakes, or you might get a small number, or only 1, or maybe even none. Since that's the way trash mobs work in these skirmishes. You face drakes and raids. Actually, facing raids, it might be a good idea for me to use some light oil. Next block of mobs where we have huge numbers, I could just switch over. Actually, what kind of damage am I doing here? Common damage! Okay. That might explain a few things. Alright, now we have this guy here giving us a speech. So you have finally come to me. I would delight in being the one that destroys you. But I am not yet convinced you are worthy of soiling my blade, so perhaps you will prove me wrong. Open the gates! Destroy these mongrels! And of course we get a fell beast overflight. Now, the fell beast overflight here, while it's pretty much the same in solo, it's pretty much the same as you had in the previous skirmish. In group runs, I don't believe that you get the fear effect that you had in the other one where you're running away and stuff like that, since there's no way to avoid this one. Now here we get 3. Counterattacks. As far as I know, this is the only skirmish that has 3 counterattacks in it. And what's unusual is that the first 2 counterattacks have no lieutenants, and the third one gets 2 lieutenants. So it's the only case that I know of where, outside of a raid, you intentionally face 2 lieutenants at a time. So you get 2 lieutenants and no trash mobs. Now it can get really nasty in a raid if you're facing this counterattack, and of course in raids you're always allowed to double up on your lieutenants, so you can wind up with 4 lieutenants that in that particular attack, which can turn quite nasty. So I remember one time getting, I think we had 3 Brothers of Destruction or something like that in there, and in a raid, since they go into split into 4 in a raid, that means you have these 12 giants pounding on our tank. It's not fun. This guy's gonna be real difficult to handle. I wonder if Warcry still works at this level. I guess so, because I took out 2 of them. Alright, I'm still low enough level to use Warcry. Because I found that at higher levels, Warcry isn't very effective against those worms. So it's finding which skill works best at which level. But at lower levels, yes, definitely Warcry, and it looks like at 65 that's still the case. Either that or when I tested it up in the 80s or the 90s, I just had bad luck. Because Warcry is certainly an easy one to get done, since I really don't use fist and fist all that often, of course, unless I'm intending to use... Oh. No, I don't. Alright, that takes care of that area. And once again, we're going to face 3 counterattacks. With a little help from Sigilith here. Now, in this one, there are 4 doors, and they could come out of any of the 4 doors. This is one of the 4 doors right here. Now, all the enemies that are counterattacking will come from the same door. What I mean, all the ones from the same wave will come from the same door. So each wave could potentially come from a different door. Second one comes from this door. Alright. I put on the light oil. Of course, that does not help against my... That's completely useless! Actually, it goes run in sailment mode. This one uses assailment mode. Alright, which ones do I have now? Well, that's quite a combo. It's not the worst combo you can get. They have a Defender of the Vile. Hit the Defender. Yeah, Defender of the Vile, of course. Taking damage, so... Oh! Sharp, harsh barking comes from the north. I was so busy talking that I didn't see what the other encounter was. A roar erupts from the west. Okay. That was from at the end of the first assault. First, let's take care of this guy. Well, at least I'm glad it was from the west and not from the south, because, oh, it would have really been painful to go all the way to the beginning of the skirmish to take care of that. this guy likes to knock you out. And maybe someday I'll remember the gambit that keeps you from getting stunned. I never learned to use it. Alright, he's down. Now we'll head back. I have to go back through the original gate. Now this is a real nice time in which to alright, there's the original control point. And this is where we run into Kufit. It's not as bad as he used to be. He used to build up momentum. And he would keep on building up the momentum all the way through the... He still has a stun, apparently. And he'll build up momentum, and therefore, if you don't kill him fast enough, he will just rip you completely to pieces. At some point, they removed momentum from just about from the vast majority of the non-Moria trolls, including this one. Though of course the Dol Guldur one, it was the entire point of the fight was working with momentum and with the catapults firing down on him, so therefore that one did still gets momentum in there. And of course the 3 Moria skirmishes, since they're in Moria, still use momentum on some of the trolls. Alright, I'm sure I've lost my soldier there. How am I doing on my 4 minutes, 27 seconds. Alright. That's the problem, is I have such a habit of using that glass there, I forget that when I run this skirmish, it's nice to have a hope token in the boss fight. Because the boss gives out +3 dread. So I'm going to have to fight with effective 2 dread, since I've got 1 hope to counter it. And there we go. Now for the boss. He's here waiting for us. Hello. Welcome to Dol Guldur. Welcome to the Ringwraiths Lair and the entrance to Dol Guldur. I am impressed you have come this far, but what did you expect to happen once you got here? Did you really think you were just going to walk right in? Foolish weaklings! Prepare yourself, for this place will be the last you'll ever see. This Felbeast. Now the Felbeast here just makes a flyby in solo runs. In group runs, the Felbeast makes 2 passes and a second pass. He'll land and you have to fight the Felbeast in addition to the boss here. Though at least in duos and small fellowships we tend to kill the boss before the Felbeast has a chance to land, but we still fight the Felbeast afterwards then. And the Felbeast is sometimes incompetent in climbing the stairs, unfortunately.
Perhaps we will see this song to the end after all.
The battle goes well! Perhaps we will see this song to the end after all, and have the bards willing to sing it, and folk alive to listen. And that concludes the trilogy in getting inside of Dol Guldur. Now, we will have a little bit of a break after this, since after this, we have to perform a couple of other missions before we unlock the final one, which will be the Battle in the Tower, the last of the Mirkwood skirmishes. And until then, this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.